On this week's edition of inCycle, we go deep into Flemish cycling culture with Frederic Backaert.
Some countries just don't have it the way we have it. The races really live here. You grow up with it.
We meet the institution that is the sport Vlaanderen-Baloise team.
If I would have not have got in contact with Sport Vlaanderen, then probably I would have gone for my studies and never become a professional cyclist.
But first, Johan Museo on the climbs of the Tour of Flanders. Courage, panache and luck. Such qualities needed to win the Tour of Flanders are undoubtedly part of the race's magic. Conquer de Ronde displaying these, and a rider is likely to be anointed a Flandrian. They don't come more Flandrian than Johan Museo. The Belgian's 3 victories in the 1990s demonstrated his skill and understanding for this unique race. Who better then than the Lion of Flanders to dissect what makes the Tour of Flanders so special?
The whole day very stressful. You have to be in a one-hand concentration for crashes and for everything, because each corner, each cobble, each hill, there is something. So it's very stressful. It's maybe the most stressful race of the year.
Part of that stress is cresting the bergs of the Flemish Ardennes, 3 of which hold almost mythical status in the race. While the Koppenberg, the Paterberg and the Oude Kwaremont are relatively recent additions to the race, all are today icons in the Flemish cycling tradition.
It's difficult to have a favorite climb in the Tour de Flanders. Now the circuit is different than I won, but we are here at the middle of the Old Kwaremont. That hill I like very much. I like it still very much.
With 3 ascents of the Kwaremont included in the modern form of the race, the climb has been the launchpad for many victories in recent years, including for Alberto Bettiol in 2019.
It's 2 parts. The first, it's a little bit steep for 6%, and afterwards it's almost flat till the end. So here can do something, because it's long and it's hard. It's a little bit more like a section of Paris-Roubaix. It's not the steepest, it's the longest, and that's a hill that you have to take by power. So I like cobblestones, and I like the long hills where are not so steep. So here you can get up with the power.
One climb Museo never had to contend with on his way to victory was the Koppenberg. Renowned for this incident in 1987, the Koppenberg's today feared for its savage gradients more than its race-changing potential.
I don't like the Koppenberg, but any rider likes it. When it's bad weather and it's raining, it's difficult to get up, even for a professional rider. You can lose the Tour de Flanders over there. You don't win the Tour de Flanders on the Koppenberg, because it's 45k to go. To get out alone, it's too long, and you can take maybe you can take a couple seconds on that hill, but not more. It wasn't my favorite, and it isn't my favorite now.
The Paterberg only became a cobbled climb in 1986, when a local farmer dug up the tarmac and laid cobbles on the climb in the hope it would attract the race. The plan worked, and today the climb represents one of the last points on which to make a winning move and drop your rivals.
You have to climb on the Patersberg in the middle, like the riders. Then you feel it, how it is to climb, and how hard and how steep the Patersberg is. He is short but very steep. You climb 45-50 seconds. That's not so long. You can go full on the Patersberg if you have still the power in the legs. And now the new circuit, the last hill of the race.
While the order of the race may have shifted since Museo's time, one thing remains constant. Surge to victory through all the race throws at you, and you can become a Flandrian.
I don't think you have to be from Belgium. You can be from Italy or from anywhere else, from the UK, to come a Flandrian. If you come here and you win the races here and you win Tour of Flanders and you win as with a special manner, then you come a hero. You don't have to be beautiful on the bike. You don't have to wear a beautiful helmet or beautiful sunglasses, but you have to win Tour of Flanders. So otherwise, you're not a Flandrian for me.
The Flemish classics have many constants: cobbled climbs, changeable weather and passionate support. And you can add to this list a team Flemish fans claim as truly their own.
It's something in Flanders a lot of people are proud of. If you see how many big riders we already had in the team in the past, it's a bit of a statue in Vlaanderen. And not only in Vlaanderen, actually in cycling world. We are a small team, but we have a lot of respect to the big teams because they know how we work, what we do, and that we deliver quality.
Through its history, Sport Vlaanderen-Baloise's mission, much like their jersey and name, has barely changed. For a quarter of a century, the team has acted as a stepping stone for Flemish riders to reach the top level, and its track record is mightily impressive. 20 graduates of the team currently ride at World Tour level, including the likes of Sepp van Mark, Thomas de Gent and Trek Segafredo's Edward Turns.
I was actually in my last year under 23, so as an amateur, and then after that I had to make a decision. If I would have not have got in contact with Sport Vlaanderen, then probably I would have gone for my studies and never become a professional cyclist. So it was my first year as a pro. I came in the team, and for me it was a super important step to get to where I am now. Their goal is to get young guys, amateur riders, give them a chance as a professional rider, and then try to get them in a big team or a world tour team. So they are always really happy if they succeed in their goal, but on the same time it makes it really hard for them to get results because the good guys, they always lose to the big teams.
Given a high turnover of riders and a youthful squad, leadership qualities among the ranks can be hard to find. For 12 years, former Belgian national champion Preben van Hekke fulfilled that role as squad captain up until his retirement at the end of last season.
I'm now starting my 11th year here at Sport Vlaanderen. Yeah, experience, you can say I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest guy in the team, and I have the most years as professional rider on my name. So I think they use me a little bit as captain on the road here, and I assist the younger riders and tell them something about the parcours and everything, and that's a bit my job in the team. The last few years we've given away some good riders to the Pro Tour teams, and I don't say that's all of my credit, but I worked for it also a little bit with them, and that gives some satisfaction.
Despite the continual state of flux, the team has charted some notable results over the years. Ask anyone involved with the team, and one victory comes to mind immediately: 2015's Tour of Flanders.
That was really, I think, for Sport Vlaanderen an exceptional moment because the race finishes, I think, 1 kilometer from where the office is of the team, and to have two riders in the front group of 4 with the world champion there.
And Walle's there, hasn't got much left in the tank. over 4.5 hours in the saddle. His teammate Ed Turns now makes a move, but Wallace has got time to enjoy the moment. It's a victory for Belgium, and it's a victory for Jelle Wallace. What a ride from the Tour of Flanders team.
And then we finished the race 1 and 2. It was really, I think for the whole team, it was an amazing day. And for me, it's still a highlight in my career. And it's also the first time that I realized, okay, maybe I can get some next steps into cycling.
Cycling in Flanders is something unique because we have all these cobble roads, we have these short, steep climbs, we have these special landscapes. Whenever the weather's changing, whenever the riders come outside and start just riding the cobbles, it's something special happens.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone who epitomises the culture of cycling in Flanders more than Frederic Backaert. In a region where cycling is everything and the fans can rub shoulders with their heroes on a daily basis, where better to learn Backaert's story than his local cafe in Mikkelbeke, East Flanders.
Hello. This is Bierpotje. It's a local cafe, and this is also a supporters club of mine. Not only for me, also for another local rider, a young guy, also for Club Rouge, the football team, the local football team, and there's a head club too, all sorts of clubs here. Serge is the holder of the cafe, and I see him often. He always calls me every race. We pass here often too on the classics, right before the Berendries. He's always standing outside. Also the people who come and drink here. Whenever there's a race, this is full of people. That's where it all started for me. We always went watching on the Berendries. Back in the days when Johan Museeuw was still riding, Johan Museeuw, Peter van Petegem also, he was also from Brakel, from around. And that's where it all started for me.
Growing up at the foot of one of the most iconic climbs of the Tour of Flanders meant cycling was always in Backaert's life. But so was something else. His family's dairy farm, where inCycle visited him last year.
The farm is only 200 meters away from here, so the other side of the church. We have a dairy farm. We also have a cheese makery. The farm includes my mom, my dad, my uncle, and sometimes me. Not full-time, of course, because I'm a rider. But whenever I can help a little out. Especially in the evenings, I help milking, work on the cows, whatever there's to do on the buildings or the machinery. Always something to do.
After 5 seasons riding with Wanty Group Gobert, that farm work almost became Backaert's full-time occupation in 2019. But a late contract offer from the team eventually came, and Backaert's cycling dream continued. He proved his worth and even received a call-up to ride his second Tour de France. In his first outing in the 2017 race, Backaert made a name for himself as one of the most aggressive riders in the bunch.
Tour of France was something completely different, like super hard. Can't really describe it with any other road race. I knew that since I wasn't a climber, since I wasn't a sprinter, I should have gone in the breakaways. That was my only chance to be in the picture. Maybe have like a little chance on staying up front. So I tried that for 3 times, I think, and we always got caught, of course, for the finish line. But still, people kind of liked it when you are in the breakaway, and that's where you get attention, of course.
Now riding for French squad B&B Hotel Vitel Concept, Backaert has another shot at a lap of France. But in terms of races that will always be closest to the 30-year-old's heart, he doesn't look too far from home.
In racing, it's like a sort of an advantage you have because you know all the roads and you know all the corners here, you know all the small roads, the narrow roads, the pits in the road, the small climbs, you all knew them, so which makes it like a huge advantage for us riders, local riders, to race here. I never do cobbles on training rides, usually, which is weird in a way, because whenever you're racing, as a Flemish guy, you like the cobbles, of course, but racing and training is so different, and just on training it kind of like hurts when you are riding on the cobbles, so you never do it. Some countries just don't have it the way we have it. The races really live here. You grow up with it.
It's always nervous in the car, but they can finish a race like that. That's always races that you remember.
If you can one day win and in bonus win with the national jersey of Belgium, this is something really special, you know.
It's the 14th Sunday of the year, and in Flanders, that can only mean one thing. Bikes, racing, cobbles and hills. It's time for the 101st Ronde van Vlaanderen.
The big strategy was really to eliminate, not as soon as possible, but when there was a moment, and the wall was one of the key moments we said at the meeting.
It's the Muur Kapelmuur, back in the Ronde van Vlaanderen, 20% maximum.
With the Muur of Gerardsbergen in, we knew it could be critical. And to make a selection, you often have to surprise also. With those three in the front, Matteo, Tom and Phil, they're one of the smartest riders we have in the team, so you're confident that at that point of the race, they will do what they have to do.
This is a very good situation, guys. A very good situation. Phil, you know better than Tom.
2.2 kilometers, the longest climb on the Tour of Flanders. And this is where the party really begins.
I mean, it was not something really prepared. Circumstances of the race made that this happened. And then, you know, when you get there in the front with 20 seconds advantage after the Quarmont, you think for 1 second, what can I do, stop or not stop? You know, I decided to keep going.
It happened. I mean, but it was also not probably Phil's intention to go so early alone. But if you accelerate and nobody follows, then at a certain point you have to make the calculation, what do we do? He didn't go full gas from in the beginning. He just cruised along on a steady pace. I mean, on the climbs it's of course always hard, but in between he just kept a steady pace because it was still a long way to go.
This is very nervous time here for Gilbert. He knows he's got to commit to this. He can't hold back, he can't sit and wait. He's got to give it absolutely everything, but he's got to do it in a measured way.
So it's Tyenberg time. Well, normally it's Tom Bonen we see shooting up here. This time it's Philippe Gilbert.
Just to tell you how bad were the radios working that day. I didn't even know that this was happening, you know.
Sagan is making his move. It had to come sometime. And it is not against the odds that he could do it from here. Remember, there's still 36 Ks to go.
That last time the Quaremont, and he just had to go full, which he did, and the luck was on our side also.
Oh! Sagan is down! No! Sagan is down! Taken Van Avermaet with him. Narsen's there, and that could be it. That could be it for Gilbert.
Racing is racing. Something can happen everywhere. And of course, the three strongest riders at that point in the race. The other one was in front. He really died the last 5 kilometers. Phil was really in another world.
It's like a straight line, almost 2.5 K straight, and you see the finish. As close as you come, it's coming bigger and bigger and more real.
This is a celebration. The Belgian, the national champion, Quick Step, who are going to win it again. 300 meters for Philippe Gilbert to celebrate.
When you're inside the last kilometer, you realize that you're going to win. And I said I'm going to do something special, you know.
That's all for this occasion. Until next time, keep up to date with us on social media.